Hey guys, and in today's video, I'm gonna experiment a little bit. Now I know I haven't uploaded in a while, but that's the main reason why I want to experiment with my videos. I'm hoping that with these type of videos, I can try to upload more consistently, and I hope that you guys enjoy it more. And if either doesn't work, don't just experiment again until it does work. But in today's video, I'll be talking about the Secret Invasion series that just ended a few weeks ago, and I'm going to talk about how I felt about it. I'm gonna try to avoid the main things that other people say, just so that this isn't like the typical review video you could have just watched in another channel. So that's why it's probably gonna be a bit shorter too. But I just want to say the main things that I felt about it, the things that could have went right, could have went wrong, well, wronger, and things that just could have made the show just more better. Also, while there will be gameplay in the background, this is an audio-based video, so for the most part, you're just gonna be listening about what I have to say about the show as a whole. There's not gonna be too much that you'll have to see, so I recommend just listening to it while doing something else. I hope you guys do pay attention to what I'm saying, but I'm just saying that so that you're prepared for what this rest of the video is gonna be like. So to start off, just one of the big things here, I think the show just should have not been a 6-episode show. I don't know how much reviewers actually mentioned this, but I felt as if this story was really rushed. I feel like the beginning was really strong, don't get me wrong. I enjoyed how the beginning was, but I didn't enjoy how like it felt as if it needed more time. It just needed more episodes, it needed more time, and it felt as if they didn't got that time, which is starting to become a big thing in the Marvel shows, but for just this show, it just needed more episodes. It really did. Another thing about it is that I don't enjoy exactly how it ended, just because I would have really enjoyed it if Nick Fury actually did talk to Gravik for a bit. I also just didn't enjoy how he just felt like he was unremorseful for what happened, about how he couldn't complete his end of the deal. I didn't feel as if he would have just acted like that, but maybe I'm just wrong about how the character is. I just felt like that was a bit odd. He never felt remorseful about it. But I would have enjoyed if him and Gravik had some actual chatting instead of it being Gaia in disguise. I also didn't enjoy how she has like literally every power in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It just, to me, they need to find a way to balance that, which I'm for sure they will, but still just doing that, like, to me it feels odd. For the most part, it was the final episodes were just not good. They need to be built more better. That's like the main thing I like picked up on the show. It's just like, it needed more episodes, man. It was like building pretty good, but it needed more episodes. I also felt as if, I don't know, it's because how big of an effect it was when it came to the comic book version of it. I feel like it could have been between its own movie, or just like, it's not a long saga, but its own short little saga where like throughout the course of it, probably you could do it in one phase, maybe two if you need to. But throughout the time, it starts building slowly as some of these characters are not acting the way that we're used to from the past 3 phases. And we slowly start to like see how they're just completely different. And then by like the midpoint, we could have figured out that the people who've been acting different were actually Skrulls all along. I feel as if that could have been more better. And actually, while we're on that topic, I don't have a script, so I'm just gonna be jumping up and down. I'm sorry. I feel as if they could have done better with the whole Rhodey thing. From how we first figured it out to when we found him and all that, it could have been better. For starters, they should have had it where we wouldn't have known that Rhodey was a Skrull. He wasn't gonna act different. Maybe he talks a bit different, like the wording he chooses is like a bit suspicious, but for the most part you trust him. You see Nick Fury trusting him. He's a trustworthy character. And then around the same episode where we see like the Skrull showering and we see it through the window that it's a Skrull and all that could have been the big reveal where we saw him. Or maybe even later. I would have enjoyed it way later, where it's like at the very end. But you could have done it like that too, and you would have just let the viewers know, so that then there's that anticipation, that moment where it's like, when is Nick gonna figure out? When is Nick Fury gonna figure all this out? It would have been just way more enjoyable. So I would have enjoyed it if they did it like that. That was like the big piece I didn't enjoy. They just didn't build right with it. But back to the saga thing, they could have like had it in the midpoint where we figure out the Skrulls. Oh my god, we could have had a whole thing where it's like nobody can trust each other and all that. It would be like a big, like, it would have been a moment in like the Marvel Cinematic Universe where like no one can trust another. It almost feels as if the viewers can't even trust what characters they're watching because they don't know if it's a Skrull or if it's genuinely them. I think the main ones like Spider-Man, Black Panther, Captain America, Shang-Chi, all those big characters, I think those ones should be safe, except for maybe one or two. Maybe a few of them could be a Skrull, but not too big of characters. We could try to find someone in the middle. I don't know what type of character would be in the middle, but if we can find a character that would be in the perfect middle who's not extremely important, but it's also like connected towards the fans a lot. If they're revealed to be a Skrull all along, I think that would really shake up a lot in the story. Also, I just like thought of this right now. Every new character that gets introduced in that new saga should not be shown as a Skrull. I think it should be characters we've already seen. Because we're just gonna barely build a connection to those new characters, so it wouldn't have made sense if they were revealed as a Skrull. That's at least my idea how they could have gone with it. Then in continuation, they could have went in like this big war against the Skrulls and the humans, or maybe they reveal a lot of things, some stuff that could build onto whatever other saga they would have chosen to go to. I just think that would have been nice, and that could have been a great way to kind of try to relax a bit of people while also get people interested still in the series. I mean, it's gonna be hard to build off of the last saga, so I just feel like that would have been nice. But that's my opinion on how they could have won with it. Instead of making a show, they made it its own saga. A movie could have worked too, but that's what I think about it. For the most part though, if I had to sum it up, the story started off great. It started off with 2 good episodes. I enjoyed the first 2. The next 2 were a bit mid. There were moments when it didn't grab my attention, but there were some moments that got me shocked and that got me really intrigued with the story once again. The 5th and 6th episode, well, the 5th one I feel like they tried to build into a good ending. The 6th one's overall just a bad ending. I didn't enjoy that 6th and final episode. I thought it started off great when we saw Nick Fury enter like the base with the Skrulls and he started coughing and all that. But then whenever it was revealed later it was Gaia, and now her and Gravik have not only become Super Skrulls, but they also have all the powers of every Marvel character that fought in, like, I guess Endgame. To me, I feel like that was just overpowering them in the fighting. Well, the fighting was kind of cool from both of them, at least for me. It didn't really, like, it made me just stay there just like a bit confused, just like, what the heck just happened? It could have been better. That entire episode just could have been better. I feel like it was just rushed. It could have slowed down a bit. And it also left a big plot hole. Like, whenever we found Rhodey, we found him in, like, that robe in Civil War, and where it left, like, this idea of, like, oh, crap, he doesn't know Tony's dead and all that. Well, that was a good shock factor, and I'm not entirely mad at it. It does ruin a lot of the scenes between him and, like, whatever other character during Infinity War and Endgame. It leaves me a bit intrigued of how they're gonna do Armor Wars, with how Rhodey has to deal with all this new info. He has to deal with about the fact that we're years ahead, all that. It also leaves me intrigued about if he was blipped or not, which I imagine so. But it leaves a lot of questions. But what I at least didn't enjoy is the fact that everyone woke up, but yet no one was coughing all that. Like, if the radiation just disappeared out of nowhere, it felt odd. It felt like, why is it that they're walking out and they're not coughing? They're regularly just moving in there. Like, wouldn't Gaia need to, like, go and get them, like, hazmat suits or something, like something to cover their mouth so that they wouldn't, like, breathe in the radiation? It just didn't make sense. And how were they there for so long and yet they weren't getting any radiation poisoning? Like, it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Like, how were they not dying there? It's just at least a big plot hole that just didn't make sense. And then they, like, leave Gaia and, like, Britain, I think, with that one lady. I don't remember her name. I didn't really care about her that much, to be honest. She had some cool moments, but that was really it. Overall, the show just needed more episodes. I feel like 10 would have been nice. Maybe more. But I think 10 would have been nice. It could have built you a little bit more longer. It could have broadened the story more in depth. I like the idea there wasn't really any character that just showed up as a surprise guest, and that this was mainly just a Nick Fury led show. But it just could have been built better. It could have been more intriguing. Should have leaned more into, like, the whole, like, you can't trust any character. They should have tried to make it where you can't even trust Nick Fury. I think that would have been cool if they made a scene where, like, Nick Fury can't even be trusted as the main character because you don't know if even he's a Skrull or not. I think that would have been cool, but I don't know how they would have worked with that. They should have been more intriguing with the other characters about if they were a Skrull or not. They should have just basically ended the show in like a big note where it's like, oh my god. And what they kind of did with, like, the whole president going to war of all alien life, it could have been built more better. It felt rushed. It felt like the show was just trying to get there and finish to meet, like, the 6 episode quota thing. But overall, it should have been better. I think I gave it a 6 out of 10. A lot of people hate it a lot. I don't hate it that much. I just think it's more of a disappointing type of show where it just could have been built better. There was moments where I did enjoy, even in the ending, a few things I enjoyed, but overall, it should have been better. 6 out of 10 is what I would give it. It wasn't that bad. I do hate that this was, like, the first Nick Fury led show or movie. Well, this is technically a show, but I hate that this was the first one. It wasn't that great, but it's not the worst ones, okay? She-Hulk exists. okay? It's not the worst one. It's not. It really isn't. But that's my opinion on the show. I hope you guys enjoy it. If you guys did, then click that like button, because that lets me know that you guys really did enjoy this type of videos. I didn't really put too much. I just mainly put gameplay. I'm not even for sure if I'm gonna add clips of the series or not, just because that's gonna take a lot of time, and I'm already a bit behind at this point. As I'm making this, it's like August 9th. I meant to work on this more last week, but procrastination is a bitch sometimes, so it took me a minute to finish this. But I hope you guys did enjoy it. If you guys have any other show or movie you guys want me to talk about, you can leave it in the comments too. If there's anything you feel like I could have done better in here, you can comment that too. I always like to read. I mean, you guys don't really comment too much. I think I've had like one comment over the few videos, so you guys comment that would be nice, but you guys don't need to. You guys don't. If you guys do want to see any other videos I upload or any past videos, you can click that subscribe button. It's free. You can go and be ready to watch my next video when it comes out by clicking that bell button in order to get any notifications. And yeah, that's really it. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you guys have a great day.